Taurus, hello there, my beautiful friends. We're going to do your general tarot reading for late July, early August 2023. Thank you so much for joining me today. You know I appreciate each and every single one of you. So let's get right down to business as always and start you off with an oracle card here, just so we can dip our toes in the energy and see what's going on for the lovely Taurus collective. I hope you're all doing fabulous and fantastic, my friends. Let's see what we got for you this week as we move through the year into August. What do we got, my gods? Talk to me. And yeah, we're going to take a real quick look at this first card, then we'll get into the full reading itself. At the very end, I'll pull you a bonus card from the Shadowland Tarot, just to see what might be in the shadows or what shadow work you can lean into, which is always interesting. But here we go. Let's get this first card going. What do we got for Taurus, please? And thank you. Oh my God, yeah, there we go, quick. And this is a card that I always link similar to the Hierophant. So I always find this extra interesting whenever it does pop out in a Taurus reading, which is rare. Okay, this is an extremely spiritually tapped in type of card, and I feel like it has some extra importance since this is a Taurus reading. So we'll talk about that. Lots of little interesting sub notes there. But before we do, if you're new here, I'll be speaking about the August subscriber surprise towards the end, so you might want to check that out. Also, if you could kindly illuminate that like button by tapping it right on its third eye, you know, I'd greatly appreciate it. But enough of the promo, into the reading. Let's talk about this card. Like I said, to me, I always link this as a very similar energy to the Hierophant. So since this is a Taurus reading, when it shows up on the front end, there could be something regarding your self-confidence or how you view yourself. Okay, whether it is like, do you treat yourself nicely? Are you kind to yourself? Do you view yourself in a positive way? Maybe it's something about self-confidence, very similar to the Queen of Wands. But if not, when I see this card, there's two main things I think of. One, extremely spiritually sensitive and tapped in. So a lot of you, that could be heightened. I've been seeing that with a lot of the signs this week, where a lot of them are feeding off subtle energies. But for another portion of you, notice this person is hoodwinked. So whether it's an inward focus, spiritual focus, there might be some mystery surrounding you when this blindfold shows up in this oracle card in the beginning. So you see what I mean? There's a lot of stuff happening here. There's a lot of stuff going on the front end. So we're just going to place that to the side. I would just say in this time, make sure you're being kind to yourself. Like, that would be the most important thing. But let's get it going here. We're just going to place our spiritual pal right there and get into tarot. I always say that first card, it doesn't make or break the reading. It's just a footnote. So yeah, I'm going to get you 3 cards in the upright before we get that intuitive juiciness going. So let's shuffle it up here. What do we got for Taurus, please, my gods? And while we get the deck ready, let's talk about last week's reading, which was, once again, always interesting, as all Taurus readings are. It was titled Here They Come. And the main thing I was feeling in last week's reading is that there was a lot of energy moving towards the Taurus collective magnetically, whether that's people and their intentions, whether it's situations. There was just a magnetic energy. Okay, so you might be very popular in this time, or at the very least, people are energetically moving towards you or affecting you some sort of way. It did feel extremely magnetic last week. So we're going to see what we have this week. As you know, every reading is different. Energies are always fluid. They're never set in stone. So only take this how it hits for you. So we could be seeing your vibe or someone you're linked to. Let's get these 3 cards out here. What do we got for Taurus as we move into August? Okay. I'd say this is a good start, my friend. So we have 2 cards that popped out. The first one was the Knight of Pentacles, a card that could represent you. So for some reason, there is a big focus on the self here, my friends. Okay, with the Oracle card, now with the first Tarot card, you also got a very powerful yet lucky card. We got the Wheel of Fortune in position number 2. How about that? One of my favorite cards in the whole entire Tarot deck. Let's get you one more. This is going to be an interesting one, my friends. Okay, Chariot. So things could really start picking up steam in some sort of way for you guys. Could absolutely say that. If this isn't the magnetic energy, like, things are going to start picking up the pace here. So let's go through. I'll give you some of the classical meanings and archetypes. Then we'll get into that juicy intuitive stuff. Super interesting this week, my friends. At first look, first glance, obviously I have to mention we got a card representing you. 2 very powerful major arcana here. Could be positive, but I'm seeing this sweep of energy where it starts off slow and steady, picks up a lot of steam. There could be a change and then boom, like explosive energy towards the back end. So let's go through it one by one, because I feel like whether this is one thing or multiple things, there's so much powerful energy around the Taurus collective. In position number 1, the Knight of Pentacles. Let's talk about it. So like I said, this could represent you. This could represent another earth sign, so Virgo or Capricorn. And when I see the Knight of Pentacles, In my simplistic style, since it's a Taurus reading, it could tell us something that's coming towards you or what you might be feeling when we clarify it. Aside from that, this is a very slow and meticulous type of card. It goes at its own pace. It doesn't like to be rushed. It's going to go at whatever rate it deems necessary, which is usually slow and steady, right? This is a card of slow and steady wins the race. Now, aside from that, this card, out of all the knights, is the slowest moving, so there could sometimes be frustrations with this card. So you might feel like a situation is a little stuck or something is just inflexible. Someone could be acting stubborn when a card like this shows up. So we're going to want to see what's up. There's also little subtones of communication with a card like this, but I'm liking the vibe of the rest of it. Let's just place him back down right here, because as we move to the next card, one of my favorites, we got the Wheel of Fortune. Very, very powerful. To me, this card is a 4-leaf clover, right? In any tarot reading, it's a good luck charm. So this could be Spirit saying like, hey, if you like to gamble, you might as well play those numbers. This could be a good swing for a lot of Tauruses. Aside from that, aside from the good luck connotations of wins, victories, things like that, it could be sudden. So sometimes this could represent things happening suddenly or surprisingly. This is a karmic card as well, so it can talk about the cycles of life, right? Beginnings, endings, karmic. So whether it's karmic retribution of some sort, karmic lessons, karmic blessings, things like that. Getting, like, what you put forth, you get back in return is a big energy with this card as well. But it's cyclical, and there is a sudden, right? So whether it's a sudden change where things are going slow and then they suddenly kick into gear, that could absolutely be represented here when we go from the Knight of Pentacles to the Wheel of Fortune, that's for sure. Now, moving to the back end, we're not slowing down. We're only picking up steam. We have the Chariot. This card might be the fastest one in the whole entire deck, okay? I took a poll a long time ago. I think a lot of people chose this as the fastest card. So when I see it, of course, this could represent a Cancerian, so you might be connected to a Cancer when this card shows up. If not, when I see the Chariot, I think of forward progress, zooming at something like a rocket. This is action. It's unstoppable. Sometimes this could represent travel, trips, distance, things like that. But the Chariot to me is generally a card of forward momentum, forward progress, picking up steam. I do always give a little sub note with this card as well. The Chariot, it's important for us to remember that this Chariot was made as an instrument of war. Back in ancient times, people used to ride in chariots for warlike purposes. So in this time, watch out for conflicts and button heads with people. But we're not going to take this as a rough energy until we get clarifiers that tell us so. There could be things picking up in a very quick and powerful way, suddenly, surprisingly as well. So we're going to place this down. I really want to get more detail on all of it. So we're going to do that now, Taurus. Let's jump in and clarify. All right, let's get a good shuffle here. See what's going on for the Taurus Collective. Yes, my friends, this is where I go intuitive with the message, which means I just tell you how it feels to me. So feel free to do further research or rely on your base knowledge of tarot. Because as you know, every single reading is about the reader's interpretation, and I'm just giving you mine. Let's go in on that Knight of Pentacles. And yes, if you're a reader yourself, please feel free to play along. That's why the box is here. If you're feeling any messages you want to give to Taurus, you could drop it in the comments. I don't mind at all. All right, Knight of Pentacles here. Why is that Knight of Pentacles in the mix? Thank you. More karmic energy, huh? Lady Justice. In this time, a lot of you, watch out for anything contractual. Watch out for any legal situations. For a portion of you, you might be connected to Libra when Lady Justice shows up. But, I mean, we got to look here. Surrounding the Knight of Pentacles, a card that could be representing you, is all of this powerful karmic energy. So I could say this could be either one, very good, depending on what shows up throughout the rest of the reading, or it could be a warning from Spirit. Some of you might need to know, like, hey, what you're doing now in this time can come swinging back around to you in the future. So this could be a karmic warning. Now, I'm not saying that to be a fearmonger or anything like that, but I do feel like the actions you take now and the behaviors you exhibit now could come swinging back around eventually. So keep that in mind as you go through whatever it is you're going through in this time, whether they're issues, situations, wins, victories. There is a little bit of a karmic warning here. Okay, maybe for some of you, there's someone you're connected to that is going to get a dose of karma, and you might witness it in some way, or at the very least hear about it. That could absolutely be it, karma getting served up to someone on a silver platter. But when I see Lady Justice here, aside from the Libra connection, it is a card that is generally fair. It's a card that's balanced as well. So for some of you, I want to see how the rest of this plays out. I don't want to just stick to the karmic archetype alone. But I would say in this time specifically, Like if you sign any contracts, double check them. If you're going through any legal situations, get professional advice. And decisions, if you're making decisions, be fair, be honest. Let's go in on that wheel. Okay. I feel like some of you needed to hear that. Like there's a big emphasis on being fair and balanced. So why is that Wheel of Fortune here? Let's see if the goodness starts rolling in now. All right, quick. Thank you. Okay, I mean, my friends, we got the Devil showing up here in reverse. That's another earth sign we got here. And I would say this is good for a lot of you. There could be a very positive change. If there's something that you feel like it's been shackling you or locking you down in some sort of way, there could be some sort of freedom from that. The Devil in reverse is the best way we want to receive this card. Now, the Devil could just represent a Capricorn, right? You might be connected to one. You might have Capricorn placements yourself. Notice we are getting a metric ton of major arcana here. These are extremely powerful energies and archetypes. So for a lot of Tauruses out there, just know, once again, this could be a very important time period that you're going through right now. Like the situations, the goods, the bads, the in-betweens, I feel like are very, very important for the coming years even. I feel like I need to really drive that home and deliver it. For some of you, you might feel like you need to make a big change, right? A change within yourself or a change within a situation. Specifically, if you're dealing with something with this Devil energy that feels toxic, feels like it's like sticking to you like a thorn in the side. It's hard. It's something that's very difficult to shake. Under the Wheel of Fortune, a lot of you could make very positive, powerful changes here. And once again, the karmic energies are showing. So for some of you, this could be a karmic test of some sort. So I know we're getting a double down of this energy. I want to keep pressing forward. We'll see what's up with that Chariot. Okay, but for most of you, I feel like this is a very positive change. But I just keep needing to say, like the karmic warning thing I said in the beginning, how you act and how you react now and the things that you do now are going to set into motion some sort of butterfly effect, if that makes sense. If you've ever seen the movie, that's just what I'm feeling here. So let's go in on the Chariot. Big test type of energy. So why is the Chariot in the mix? Let's see. Because I did say it had no vibe of slowing down whatsoever. Okay. Yeah, make sure you don't rush things in this time. We have the Five of Cups in the upright underneath this Chariot. Okay, if this is somebody that, I do feel like this could be someone that makes a mistake, makes a misjudgment, a miscalculation. They act too quick, they act too soon. And I've been seeing that for other signs in recent weeks as well, where somebody doesn't weigh the options, doesn't weigh the consequences, doesn't, just acts very impulsively, and they could be, you know, really paying for that eventually. Now, I do also feel like if there's someone that is going to get karma served up to them in this time, once again, you might bear witness to that in some sort of way. I'm not saying I know how you're going to react to that. Now, the Five of Cups in the upright, you know what it is. It's the river of tears. It's sadness, depression, things like that. When I see it under a card like the Chariot, doing anything too sporadically could be a big mistake, right? Doing things without thinking about it, doing things on a whim are not the way you want to go in this time. That's for sure, especially with what we've been seeing throughout the rest of the reading. Okay, so once again, we do have a little bit of a warning back here, but I still feel there could be so much goodness within this whole entire spread that could be a warning from the Spirit. Once again, I did say in the beginning, whatever it is you do, be fair, be balanced, just like we have up here. Don't be in this energy, be in this energy that we have in the front. So let's go through and do a quick recap before we get into the shadow card. If you kindly look in the box, position number 1, we have the Knight of Pentacles with Lady Justice in the upright. Notice the double karmic cards are flanking that Knight of Pentacles. I did say watch out for legal situations, contracts, make sure you read them over a couple of times. Decisions, fair and balanced. I know what we already talked about it, but there are karmic hands at play, and this could be a warning from Spirit, okay, that what you do now has a lot of effects. Moving to the center, we have the Wheel of Fortune with the Devil in reverse. That's the best way we want to receive that. A lot of you could make some really important changes in this time, especially if there's been toxic things or things you've been trying to resolve for a long time. You could really clear a lot of things up in this time with this in the middle. These are changes for the positive. On the back end, we do have the Chariot with the Five of Cups in the upright. For some of you, it might just be a Cancerian that's a little down in the dumps. If not, I do feel like anything spontaneous could be a big mistake. Anything not thoroughly thought through, anything that's like rushed or just, you know, you go by the seat of your pants, could have a rough result. So in this time, be in this energy, don't be in that energy. Please take a screenshot. I'm going to get you one shadow card. I mean, and you could give that advice to someone else, right? If you're not the sporadic type, if you're not the unpredictable type, if there is someone who fits that bill in your life, you might need to tell them to slow down a little bit. So let's get you a shadow card here. What's in the shadows for Taurus? And yeah, I always like to pull one shadow card at the end of every reading. I feel like it's a nice thing to do. It's very introspective. So let's see what's in the shadows, whether it's within you, whether it's something you don't quite see. And we have the High Priestess showing up in the shadows, a card of intuition, trusting your gut. Okay, so for a lot of you, this could literally just be as easy as that. Spirit saying like, hey, trust your intuition, trust your gut on something. If it's leading you in a specific direction, you should listen to that. Now, the High Priestess also connects to the zodiac sign of Pisces. I like to link her to all water signs, so they could be showing up here once again. This is also a very spiritual card, just like we had in the very beginning. So a lot of you, if you are leaning into some sort of spirituality for healing, that's a very good thing when we have this in the shadows. However, with the High Priestess, the shadow side of her is that she could be a little secretive. Okay, and she could also be someone that's intrigued by dark spiritual things. So watch out for stuff like that. Protect yourself energetically when she shows up in the shadows, but at the very least, this card is asking all Tauruses to be straightforward, honest. Don't hide anything in this time. Like secrecy, hiding things in this time, not good when the High Priestess is a shadow card. And with all the karmic stuff we saw. So Taurus, that's what I have for you this week, my friends. Don't click away just yet. I'm going to give you the details of the August subscriber surprise. For the August subscriber surprise, I'll be picking 3 winners for 3 different tarot decks. It will be a winner's choice this month. So if you want the Gilded Tarot, it's your choice. If you want the Witch's Tarot or anything under $40 US, 3 winners will be chosen. So if you'd like to get your name in for that, it's 2 simple things as always, my friends. First, you must be subscribed, which I'm sure you already are. And second, let me know down in the comments what you think is the best use for tarot. Speaking to spirit, shadow work, inner work, confusion, you'll be entered to win. And at the end of the month in August, I'll announce the winners in my community tab. As always, my friends, much love. I'll see you soon.